and welcome to Ace Anime Reviews, where we talk about anime and video games and whatever else we're into this week. I'm Charlie, they, him, and I'll be hosting this week, and this is our founder.
I'm Ace Barrett King. I use he, him pronouns, and didn't record last week because I was asleep, and we're not going to record very animatedly this week because we all would like to be asleep.
That includes me. I'm Noah. They, them. Man, today's been hard, hasn't it?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's tired.
Yeah. So,
Host, you're
Hello,
letting.
Eisenheim.
Yep.
Eisenheim has come to play. So,
That's the same.
a quick rundown of our site is Ace Anime Reviews is a site on WordPress where we post about anime and video games and webtoons and whatever else we're interested in. Um, our most recent article was written by me, wasn't it?
Yes.
80s.
Yeah. Yeah, it was in a half-hearted defense of Hades, the character, and Hades, the game. Because while he is a terrible, terrible father, he's not as bad as some fathers.
Not all that bad for an Olympic father, really.
Yeah, he's certainly better than Zeus.
That's a low bar to clear.
Yeah, very few. It's very difficult to be a worse father than Zeus.
I mean, I suppose their father managed it.
Yeah.
And with as many children as Zeus has, you'd think he'd have got the hang of it by now.
No, he probably just collects them like Pokemon, like our mother does.
Got a full team now.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. You were saying?
What?
Who?
Haley was saying something while I quickly pull up our Patreon so I could read the tiers.
Oh, I was gonna prompt you to talk about the most recent review. Ace, what's your next review gonna be about? That's due on Friday, isn't it?
It was going to be about King's Game, but then I decided that I want to write something about that Dio ass motherfucker before Skate the Infinity stops airing. And next month I'm writing something about Natsume's Harvest Moon games and why it's a bad company and doesn't deserve your money, and the games that it makes are bad. So it's gonna have to be this week. This week is gonna be something about the DOS motherfucker. And King's Game will wait until next time when I don't have anything timely in mind or need a really quick, fluffy thing to cover for somebody not doing theirs.
That's fair.
Yeah. I don't actually know for sure if that's gonna be next time.
We could always ask.
Yeah.
I mean, I told her when it was expected, and she never responded.
Yep.
That's not surprising. Okay. We also have a Patreon, as we've mentioned. There's only 3 tiers right now?
Yeah, just the 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's the standard. The higher one gets everything from the lower one, so I'll just do a quick rundown. First tier is early access and voting power. That's $1 a month, where you get early access to our reviews that aren't first impressions or premieres.
Yep.
And you get to vote on the monthly light novel review by Fen, if she's still doing them, and any other polls we put up. Second tier is access to our Discord, where you can come and chat to us and each other about anime and video games and all that.
This guy's name was Beck Watkin. They named his parents named him Watkin.
That's a wonderful name. And our final tier is entry into a monthly sweepstakes where you can actually join us on our chat and disagree with everything we say.
Yep.
Fine.
Yeah. And that's it for Patreon.
Yep.
Normally, this would also be right around where we shout out new patrons. That's why we're reading out our tiers so that we have new patrons to shout out.
Yeah.
Yes, please. Please support us. Two of us have no job, and the other is currently working too.
Yeah.
Um,
But only gets paid for one, which is why I need.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I have to finish my college. Don't go to college.
No, college is for nerds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. And what anime would you like to start talking about? today?
Before we actually start talking about anime, the anime awards were last week. For
Yeah,
Crunchyroll,
what one?
the Crunchyroll, and anime of the year was Jujutsu Kaisen, which is absolute bullshit because Akudama Drive came out last year, and it was a cyberpunk heist spectacle about how all cops are bastards that managed to stick the landing, and it should have won. But since the anime
Yeah,
awards
familiar.
anime awards are voted on by the people, the masses, and the masses are dumb. They voted for Jujutsu Kaisen, which is good. It's a good anime. I like it, but Akudama Drive was better, and it was more fitting for 2020.
Yeah.
But yeah. But okay, so yeah, that's what I wanted to say about that. And also, before we actually start talking about specific episodes, the director of Wonder Egg Priority posted on Twitter a couple weeks ago about when the mannequins were saying their sexist bullshit about why boys and girls commit suicide. Neru was going to call them out on it. She was going to say something along the lines of, when it comes to their brains, boys and girls are the same. But the director decided to cut the line because he felt that her disagreement with their statement was clear from her body language and tone.
Well, that's fair.
Yeah.
Whose disagreement is clear?
Neru's.
No, it wasn't clear. I mean, maybe to someone who reads body language, it was clear, but like,
Yeah.
I didn't get that. I just got general annoyance at their existence because they kept talking when they were trying to have an important conversation.
Yeah. But yeah, that was. Also, Momoe's thing about whether she's trans or gay or not. I think they're gonna intentionally keep it clear. I mean, keep it vague so that queer people can have she can speak to any number of queer identities and experiences.
That's fair.
That being said, I did see somebody claiming that she's that saying that she's definitely a lesbian, but I don't believe that. Like she might be, or she might be bi, but if she is, she hasn't accepted it because this person's theory is that she just doesn't like the idea of being seen as the guy in a lesbian relationship, but she also was not happy when her friend who treated her like a girl wanted their relationship to become romantic. So either she's in the closet or she's not gay.
Or
Yeah.
face.
Yeah, well, asexual would be not gay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was very clearly uncomfortable last time she got a love letter
Yeah, so
from a
she's
girl.
She's very clearly not into any of this romantic sexual bullshit.
Yeah, so she's either asexual or she's in the closet, but
Or both.
or both, or she's straight, but you know. But
It's
still.
out here murdering his family.
Anyway, I don't know what I'm looking for. I think I'm lost. Okay, so but specifically, should we talk about last week's episodes? Well, I guess we can talk about it. So last week, well, the egg and the OP cracked. It might have been like that before, but last week is when I noticed
It
it.
always does that.
And Rika just casually dropped some dark shit, but we'll talk about more about that when we get to this week's episode. So the whole thing was Sawaki, and them thinking that I has a crush on Sawaki. She obviously doesn't. Like, Naru's saying that her liking him is the Occam's razor, but Occam's razor is that she doesn't like the idea of her mom dating her teacher because her mom dating her teacher is weird and inappropriate.
Yeah. And I guess all the denial could be read as, oh, she protests too much, but I didn't get that.
No, and
She
also she
obviously
thinks
doesn't
that
like him like that.
she thinks that Sawaki might have had something to do with her friend's suicide. Why would she like him? She doesn't trust him. That's very obvious every time he even is mentioned.
Yeah.
But yeah. Then oh, and then this week, first of all, I have a note that says fit fat because I thought that was cute. But also that whole the sentiment that you cannot criticize your mom is really dumb and toxic, and I would really like that to die. Just because somebody has
I
a
don't
child
think
doesn't
she
make
was-
them infallible. I know that
I
was
don't
what
think Mom
Momoe
was
was
playing
saying.
was-
Momoe was trying to tell Rika not to talk shit about her mom, but Momoe was not comfortable with Rika not being happy with her mom. Was the thing. Like,
For the
we're obviously
extent she
not
took
supposed
it.
to agree with Momoe, or at least I don't think we were supposed to agree with Momoe on that, because her mother is
Definitely not.
definitely needs some criticism. But yeah. Where am I supposed to go? Yeah.
To the nearest walkthrough.
No, I will not. I refuse to go to a walkthrough. This is an adventure game. I'll click on everything until
diversion.
something happens.
Diverting from current anime for a minute. I did start watching the Angels of Death anime. I've gotten through to the end of Eddie's Floor. But, was it Eddie's Floor? Was it Eddie or Kathy who was first?
Eddie is the gravedigger and Kathy's the warden, and Eddie came first.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I got through the end of Kathy's Floor then.
Yeah.
And that show's weird as hell.
I know, don't you? Isn't it great? I love it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people who obviously need very intensive therapy.
Yeah, but the therapist that we see is a gaslighting possible
no.
pedophile, so.
Yeah, it's
And then the other
real
therapist that we
cool.
see at the end is really bad at her job, so, like,
Yeah.
But that's, it's more than we usually get. Usually anime pretends that therapy doesn't exist, but this one is just that the therapists that we see are shitty.
Yeah, it's just implying that therapy does more harm than good.
Well, no, it's not really. It's just that bad therapy does a lot of harm.
If it doesn't go out of its way to show good therapy, what are we
Yeah.
supposed to
Well,
compare
because
it
if they
to?
showed good therapy, then then that would
They
take
might
away
be
the
getting
fun.
to that.
Well, no, it's not. But because that would take away the fun. That's not the fun of it. The fun is not seeing these people like it would. Yes, Rachel should. They all need therapy, and it would be better for them to get therapy. But that wouldn't be fun.
They're
you know-
supposed to be fun.
Cause the game is.
Am I supposed to be having fun?
Well, yeah, it's a silly show.
I think I'm consuming it wrong.
Yeah, cause it's. You need to watch it as a comedy. If you watch it as a
You
comedy,
need to watch it. Oh yes, let's watch this these little flashbacks here about a child being forced to bury one of his foster siblings in a grave in the backyard.
he probably ate the foster sibling. Like we saw him
That's
eating
not-
chunks of something, and I think that those chunks of something might have been foster sibling.
No, that's not funnier. That doesn't make it funnier. It makes my reactions funnier for you guys.
Well, just remember that there was an arc that was a parody of an Otome game where instead of figuring out who she wanted to date, she had to figure out which of these guys she wanted to kill her. That's pretty funny.
I'll take your word for it. It's not. They didn't adapt it that way into the show. It's
Yeah.
more of the creepy bullshit.
Yeah. I think that's a kind of a problem. Is that I think the change in art style actually kind of does it a disservice. Like having have a nicer art style, like the more stylized one that it has. Oh, sorry. Like the characters in the game look great. They're like super. They just ooze with personality, and they look good in the anime too. But they lose a bit.
Well, I think it's more the change of medium than
Yeah, there's that too.
art style, because like there's a certain amount of engagement that is required in order to beat an adventure game,
Yeah.
it isn't as interesting when your
Watching it.
protagonist is just figuring everything out so quickly on their own.
Yeah. Well, I
I don't
mean,
want to watch.
well, one of your protagonists is. The other protagonist can't figure out shit because he's dumb.
He's a dumb boy.
He
You know
figures
what?
his strategy is smash it, and if he can't smash it, ask Ray.
Hey, I relate to that, honestly.
Yeah.
That's why I. What are you
Like, I
doing?
think that, like, in a lot of fan stuff where they do give them, like, a sequel, they have a tendency to, or, like, even not, they tend to refer to Zack as, Ray's mummy Oni-chan, but let's be real, in their actual dynamic, Rachel is the big sibling looking after Zack. Because Zack cannot function on his own. Barely. But, yeah. Are we done talking about, I guess we're done talking about Wonder Egg Priority.
Oh, sorry, I got distracted.
Yeah, did we want to say anything else about the eggs? The little mascots are cute. Rika has the best one because it's a turtle.
Yeah.
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 Also, she is still a badass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I am sympathetic to Rika. I don't like it. I resent being made to feel sympathy for her through this particular method, but
Yeah, like
She's grown on
you
me.
gotta. We have a special kinship with people who with shitty moms.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Though as far as shitty moms go, her mom is not that bad. She does try.
Well,
Seems like it's mostly just resentment over her not keeping her promise to tell her about her dad.
I mean, her reaction to her child's birthday was to just hand her money and say, "Go buy yourself a gift."
But she also got her a cake. Normally you would think that if normally in fiction, when your mom is a drunk, she doesn't even remember your birthday.
That's true.
Yeah.
Don't use that. Jinx is gonna be immune to that.
But yeah. And let's see, anything else?
Oh,
Or what?
from the other week, where the eggs that hatch have to be ready to stand up and help them save them.
Yeah.
Because the cult.
Yeah, that definitely
cult
didn't happen
suicide.
this time.
Oh no.
She was still all in.
Oh yeah. Which is kind of the whole point of
Yeah.
Greg, is that if she hadn't been all in, we wouldn't have had an episode quite like the one we got.
Yeah, and I
It
did
was a good episode.
I like that one, the girl last week, the one who could see ghosts.
Oh, that was so good.
Yeah.
Let's get out of here.
That her thing was less the ghost itself and more nobody believing her.
Yeah.
That was cool. Well, I
It was
guess
very sweet.
I'm just gonna wander around because I don't know where to go or what to do.
Just look up a guide.
I don't want to. I figured this out before. I will figure it out again.
Did you figure it out before, or did someone guide you through it?
I figured it out. I was also I also was not distracted by trying to talk about anime at the same time.
It's true. Speaking of anime, Horimiya.
Horimiya. Oh, I think Hori's dad and I might actually be the same person. Because let's see.
Explain.
Well, I also tell people not to fall in when they announce their bathroom breaks. I cannot recommend anyone who deviates even a little from their usual appearance. And let's be real, if I had a teenage daughter with a boyfriend, I would absolutely troll him exactly the same way that Kyosuke trolls Miyamura.
That's
Yeah, you are a troll.
Yep.
But you're much more handsome.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's why I have a comment here. It's like, Mommy, what was yours and Dad's first kiss like? He stole my candy! Though this week the teenagers engaged in sexual activity. So,
Yeah, we got that.
Yep, fun times. I don't think
And,
Sengoku has
she left a
ears.
bite mark on him. Hmm?
Sengoku has no ears. That's my theory, is that he doesn't have ears. We know Sakura has ears because they hold up her glasses. But Sengoku has no ears.
This is
I'm going to
truly
pretend I understand what you're talking about.
He's the student council president.
the student council president that Hori used to bully.
Yeah. He's got no ears. Also,
He just have very flat ears.
I like the gay stalker. She and Miyamura look a lot alike. Which makes a lot of sense why she's kind of a little bit wanting him to be her new brother, but you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like his new haircut.
I didn't care for the queer soccer, but I did enjoy how Hori dealt with it.
Yeah.
Where it didn't actually bother her all that much.
No. Yeah.
Oh, don't kill. Okay, fine.
See, anything else to say about Horimiya?
I don't hope it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
and
it's cute.
I look forward to the awkward sex talks that are in their future.
Yep. And then alright, so should we talk about Cells at Work Black? Did you get caught up on Cells at Work Black?
I've seen the 2 most recent episodes.
Yeah.
That's all.
It's a good show.
And then I googled the TV tropes.
It is.
Context.
It's a good show. It's a little.
Little what?
I have a question.
Yes.
I don't know.
Why do all of the female characters have enormous breasts and no bras?
Because it's a seinen series.
I don't know what that means.
It's a series for adults, for grown men. Yeah. The author of it, or the artist, is the same guy who wrote My Balls, which is one of the series that I recommended that you should have that you could have recommended as a sex comedy because it's funny.
Oh.
Yeah.
For, instead of the rape show.
Yeah, instead of the rape show.
I did ask about it. I don't remember Charlie or Fen for some recommendations, and they had nothing.
Yeah. But yeah.
Very sad. You just grew to level 6.
Let's see.
Great.
Oh, but Corpse Boulder is a great name for a band.
It is.
Yeah.
It is a great name for a band.
And also, I thought it was funny that the bitchy senpai tried to commit a hate crime and then got squished by the Corpse Boulder. And after watching that episode about the deep vein thrombosis, did you find yourself wiggling your legs around a lot? It's like, oh, I don't want one of those.
No.
I did. I developed some brief. My restless leg syndrome came back.
Yay.
Yeah, because it managed to go away for a little while because I keep getting Charlie horses since I don't drink enough water or get enough potassium, but it came back. And then also the red blood cell and him wanting the body to breed. Like, I know that he is a cell and therefore he doesn't have to deal with screaming infants, but I can tell you that when you are dying of overwork and stress-related issues, the last thing you need is a screaming infant.
Mm-hmm.
So his sperm count going down is a good thing. But so I'm glad that Red Blood Cell's fiance is there to remind him to take it easy, and that their marriage will be a good one if the body doesn't die.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think the best kind of ending that we can expect for that series is for the body to die, but for him to like be an organ donor, and a donor and an organ with the cast that we have followed to end up in the body from the regular cells at work, so that they don't die and get to be in a body that is actually healthy.
They would still be dead by this point, realistically. I don't think cells actually live that long.
Well, no, but they also
Or is that just the skin thing?
that's part of the conceit of the series. Because, like, in the regular cells at work, they had one about blood clots, and both the red blood cell and the white blood cell that we follow were in a blood clot, and realistically, that would be the end of them. They would be dead, but they were fine in the next episode, so. Sometimes they do play fast and loose with reality. Also, cells, I don't know if you knew this, don't look like people.
Oh shit!
I could deal with that little bit of break from reality. That was
Yeah.
fine. I do wish that the female characters would wear bras. I don't
Yeah.
think that's asking for too much.
Well, they're cells. They don't have boobs because
But
they're
they
cells.
don't look- their anthropomorphized versions do have boobs, and
Yeah.
they need proper support, or their backs are going to kill them.
Yeah, but
They will have all the same problems that their body. Well, not all.
well, then you're starting to get into the overthinking it of like, if the cells have blood, then are each of them full of little blood cell
Just
people?
don't appreciate horny characters.
Why does a
Fine,
blood cell
okay? I
need
just don't
corrective
like it.
lenses?
That's gonna be a joy.
How
to
do
transcribe. Thank you both.
red blood cell get horny? And so on.
Just want to watch a show where there's no horny character design involved.
Well, you can watch shows for children. Watch
Wave's
Precure.
okay.
Watch
I
Precure.
can catch up on Wave, actually.
Or we could watch Heaven's Design Team, which is next.
That is a good show.
Yep, and they made a xenomorph, and God is a coward for not approving it. Though it's hilarious that they ate it. Oh, I've given up. I'm giving up on getting anywhere in this. We'll try and figure it out
The
next week.
Pokemon.
I don't have any Pokemons on my computer. Let's see.
Oh.
I
know
guess
where
I'm
you
bringing up
can
Duel
find
Links.
some free.
What happened?
I'm sending you something to Google that I can't say on here because I don't want to risk it being taken down.
Okay. Right. So Heaven's Design Team. The OP. I've not mentioned this before, but every episode, the OP is stuck in my head for at least 3 or 4 days afterwards.
That's just a sign of a good show.
Yep. It just sticks. Alrighty. Hopefully that doesn't screw
Hold on, I
anything
can
up.
actually do one better than just. It was cute. I will admit I don't remember much of it. My memory today is stuck in anxiety hell.
Well, let's see what we have from last
So I
week.
don't have much to say.
Mars has weather powers. Oh, comedies are always funniest when characters can just fucking die whenever and it's no big deal. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's true.
Also the change in the names does not actually I find does not make them easier to remember. Maybe it's just because I understand just too much Japanese that they're saying one thing and it's showing another, and it makes it difficult for me to remember either. Just makes it more confusing. The only one I remember,
Yeah.
the ones I remember are Pluto and Venus. And
The
Mars.
Subtitles also misidentified someone last week.
No.
They called, I think it was Jupiter. They called Mr. Eat Everything Neptune.
No, he's
Jupiter,
the guy who
Mercury,
likes
is
the
Neptune.
he likes cows, right? The guy who likes cute things.
Neptune is the otter man.
Yes, him.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that, and I did mention I like
he's the
that
sweetheart.
I like that the presumably cis man who likes cute things is distinct from the trans woman. Like, there's no real overlap between the two. I do appreciate that.
Except for the fact that they're both the most fantastic characters.
Yes, the
Mm-hmm.
well, no, the guy who eats everything is the best character because he died and then was fine. Also, they made a Sharknado.
No. Yes. Oh, I loved that movie too. I appreciated that.
Yeah, he was. He's
episode.
the funniest character, and that makes him the best character because it's a comedy.
I mean, I'll take your word for it. I find everyone's dynamic is the funniest part. Fuck, my back is killing me.
I'm sorry.
I'm about to steal Charlie's. Are you sorry? If you were
I
really
think
sorry, Charlie, you would let me have the chair.
not on stream, please.
Yep.
Um, I like that she made all the fucking sharks based on power tools
Yeah, that was
or
funny.
just tools.
She was,
Hmm.
that was fun. Um,
Also, the Tarthier.
yeah. I thought they were making a lemur, but I was not too far off, I don't think.
No, they're related.
Yeah. They're primates at least.
Hmm.
I did call the second alien becoming an owl though.
Yeah, that was fucking freaky though.
Yeah. Also, here's a fun story. Okay, so apparently some drunk people in Kentucky thought that they were attacked by a goblin, and it's some big occult story that everybody's curious about. It's like, ooh, the goblin, the goblin, and the most likely explanation is that it was an owl. So,
That's the most likely explanation for most things,
yeah,
including Mothman.
yeah. Oh yes, Mothman is definitely an owl. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind that Mothman is an owl.
Hmm.
Let's see.
No, Mothman's my boyfriend, and I love him.
Uh huh. It's nice of God to get to say something other than yes or no in an episode. He's like, you're right, that was creepy. Do something about it. Though we know that God is a Tumblr user from the first episode when he said that new frogs are always accepted.
Hmm.
Nobody likes frogs like Tumblr users.
Diane likes frogs.
Yeah.
Frogs are cool.
Yep.
Take your word for it. Virgil, I love Virgil.
What did you do? I can't hear any of that.
They took off. Let's talk about Skate the Infinity before they get back
Take
on.
off. She tried to climb up to your bunk by using the sleeping bag, and so I backed up and told her to use the window instead.
Oh, okay.
That's fair.
Do you have anything else to say about Heaven's design team?
Nothing new.
Oh, well, I
The
thought
kid
the
had
snake-eating
crush on the
squirrel
Tarsier
was...
cute.
I said I thought the snake-eating squirrel was going to become a mongoose. I didn't know they had snakes-eating squirrels. That's the only other note I have.
They have snakes eating everything.
Yeah. Snake-eating
I was so
squirrels.
excited. I thought, oh, it's gonna be a mongoose.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
It's gonna be a taco, and then it wasn't.
It was an animal I'd never heard of. So that was pretty cool. Even though I live in California.
I guess, but I was so close to being able to make a proper Taz reference this week, and then
No.
they went for a squirrel instead.
Maybe next time.
Yeah. But that's two fucking California native species then.
Yeah, well, just wait. No, eventually we'll cover it. We'll talk about an isekai, and then you can make all the fantasy classical references you want.
Mm-hmm.
Go where all your dreams come true.
Yep, that's the one.
I need to catch up on Taz.
Yeah.
I think I left off halfway through Amnesty. And that's because I got distracted by the Magnus Archives. Which is also coming to an end, and I need to catch up to. That's not what we're talking about. Okay, so
No.
we're done talking about Heaven's Design. We talked about Wonder Egg, talked about Horimiya. What else is there?
Skate boy, skate.
There's Skate.
Last week was the I could say okay. So, I started making in Fight Club. There's a running gag where the narrator will say that he is, will quote an old Reader's Digest thing. In the book, it is I am John's whatever, and in the movie, it is I am Jack's whatever. I combine those into I am Jock's growing inferiority complex. No. Poor Reki, man. Reki's angst. Reki is angsting. Oh, when Langa said that, said he thought Reki was making building a deck, I thought they were talking about Yu-Gi-Oh for half a second before I remembered that deck is a skateboard.
That would have been nice, though.
Yep. And also, somebody referring to Reki as a lowlife. That seems like a translation error. I think punk would have been better. Because lowlife implies that he's a criminal.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he looks kind of rough on first glance, but he's not.
So technically, everybody who's
He's
hanging out at
fake.
S is a criminal because they're trespassing.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole reason the police showed up.
Yeah. So if he's a lowlife, so are you. And and then last week Reki got a case of the not gays.
Did he?
Not.
Yeah, well,
You're
he
talking about that girl
suddenly
that they
started
tried
very
getting it
active,
on?
very yes, hitting on girls. That's the case of the not gays. Yeah.
That lasted all of like 2 minutes.
So did Joe, but you can do that as part of him and his and Cherry Blossom's continuing marital strife / mind games.
Can't they just go to counseling like normal people?
No,
No.
because Japan is not big on therapy. And the
Nowhere
cat
is
boy
big
is
on
Trixie, Rickett, and False. But that was hilarious.
And this week they broke up.
Nah. They never break up.
They're taking a very brief break.
They just got into an argument. You can argue and not break up. So I was surprised to find that Langa is Catholic, but then again, he might not be and was just classing himself as a joke. Because that is a thing that Westerners do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, his dad could have been Catholic. You
Yeah.
don't know. Not like me, though.
Yeah.
Also, I'm going to feed Adam his own tongue if he does not stop fucking talking.
Fuck, man, I made a half-hearted joke on Twitter about how the show would be infinitely better if Adam just mysteriously disappeared.
But he's the antagonist.
They don't
They
need
can find another one. They don't need an antagonist.
I
The
like
antagonist
Adam.
is
I
the
think
antagonist.
he's fun. He is
You
a
think
blast.
he's fun?
He is a
Is he?
blast. Yes.
I think this is just a matter of
He's
people
a
having
heel.
vastly different tastes in characters.
He's like a wrestling heel.
No, genuinely awful person.
I mean, I think they want him to be just like a wrestling heel, but he's
problem is
really
that-
not.
With wrestling heels, it's more or less completely an act for entertainment purposes, and Adam is just genuinely a horrible fucking
I
person.
think,
At
well,
all
so
times.
are a lot of wrestling heels, but the type of awful person that he is, I think, is different from the type of awful person that he pretends to be. Therefore, he is a wrestling heel. And the type of awful
doesn't-
person he's pretending to be is fun. The other type of awful person that he is less fun.
Is it fun?
Well, yeah, the whole Matador of Love shit thing is a blast. He's hilarious. I love him. He's so animated.
We're gonna have to agree to disagree on that one.
Yeah, I guess so.
Like, you can be animated and over the top and kind of a dick and not go out of your way to traumatize and hospitalize people.
Well,
That's
not in...
something that can be done,
Sure, but I
and
think...
it would be just as fun.
I think that the thing is that there's just that you just have a harder time than I do of separating fiction from reality, which is fine. I'm not critiquing you for that, but since it's a cartoon, I don't care. Is the thing. It's like it's a cartoon. It's fine. It's like wrestling.
It's not. Where are we going? Over here.
Okay.
Like, he just had a major falling out with his best friend because his best friend is horrifically traumatized after being hospitalized by this dick.
I think that would have happened anyway.
He wasn't hospitalized.
The falling out was... Yeah, he wasn't
He
hospitalized.
did go to the hospital.
But he wasn't hospitalized.
They had
He sprained his wrist. But the falling out was less due to him being injured. I think he's using that as an excuse. He's feeling bad because Langa's gotten so much better at him so quickly. It's more to do with the inferiority complex than anything else.
I mean, it's infinitely more complicated than that.
Not
It's a
really.
combination of being afraid of being left behind, being afraid of the man who went out of his way to make that entire race terrifying for him, and just kind of feeling bad because he's not as good at what he loves as he thought he should be.
Yeah.
Also, his friend is about to willingly and enthusiastically face the man who so deeply terrified him and isn't taking his fears seriously.
It's not that he's not taking his fear seriously. It's just that he's just like,
But
you're afraid of him,
implied
but I'm
Reki
not.
isn't a
It's the
real-
sort of thing.
He implied Reki isn't a real skater because he was scared.
No, he didn't.
Like he said, you understand. Yes, he
No,
did.
he didn't.
Said,
He did not.
As a real skater, you understand how exciting it is to race against
I think that he
someone
just
that's
has-
good. And Reki was like, "No, I wasn't excited. I'm scared."
Well, I think that he just misunderstood what. Well, they don't actually know each other that well. They've only known each other for a few months.
Yeah, I think that's more of they're still getting to know each other's boundaries and shit.
Yeah.
then
And
open
there's
up
also
again.
the fact that
I don't
Reki.
know how long you've known each other.
Reki has not
Uh,
this is the first time that Reki has even like let it out to Lenga that he's scared. So
No,
Yeah.
it's not.
no,
It's
yeah,
the
it
first
is.
time
Like he
Now
might
they
kind of picked him
stated
up
it,
if
but
he.
It's not the first time.
Well, we could pick it up because we're the audience.
sorry.
Lenga's not looking at him from the same vantage point that we are. There's also and also let's not forget that Lenga is a kid. He's not. He's just not, clued into that sort of thing as you might think. Because there's also there's the whole the cultural differences that he might not pick it so like it would be it makes sense that Lenga would not pick up on some subtleties about Reki's behavior that the audience would.
Yeah, especially since he's not watching him 24/7 and
Yeah.
he doesn't know him that well yet.
Yeah, like he's not privy to Reki's internal monologue the way the audience is.
I mean, I know Reki, wears everything on his face, but that does,
He-
to an
he-
extent, require knowledge of him.
He actually doesn't. He he played. What's the thing? He actually hides a lot. Like he's very expressive and outgoing, but he's like the blonde hair girl in Horimiya where he acts a lot happier than he is a lot of the time. He uses it as like a shield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's Skate. Are we done talking about Skate?
I guess we're done talking about Skate. I don't know what happened to Noah.
I got distracted by my emotional support stuffed animal.
Oh, okay.
That's
The
fair.
problem with Reki is that this whole thing just hits too close to home.
I guess.
Like for this and Wonder Egg often end up hitting too close to home to view it objectively.
That makes sense.
So we can keep talking about it, but we'll just end up screaming over each other.
Yeah.
We'll all end up screaming.
And then I'll end up beating you to death because I have to transcribe this shit.
Yeah.
Do it.
He
Just have the
chew 'em out.
transcript. Why not?
I don't know. You'd have to ask her.
What? I will. We have to have a long chat about stuff that can take place off screen.
Are we not talking about Skate the Infinity?
Yes, we're done talking about skate.
Okay. Well, there were two new Shonen Jump manga that we haven't that happened in the week since the last. Yeah. First one was Witch Watch, which is great, and I love it, and it's cute and it's funny, and also the author's last series had an intersex character, so there is a non-zero chance of queer representation. Like how good it is kind of in like the intersex character in Astra, whatever it's called, Astra, whatever it's called, the one with the space, the one in space. He was fine. I wasn't super fond of him deciding to present more feminine at the end, just mostly because it seemed to like lean into some heteronormative stuff since he's implied to have a thing for another character who is a guy. And we might have wanted to make it seem less gay, so, but, it was fine. And, but Witch Watch is cute. And, it's about a witch who picks will you stop asking me if I lost my nerve? God, you're annoying! Okay,
Who are you talking to?
The other player, because in this game you can click on them and then they'll say stuff, and they keep clicking and making Yamayugi say lost your nerve over and over and over again, and it's annoying as hell.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the other new one is a baseball manga, and it sure is a baseball manga, and if you have read a baseball manga, then you can get a good idea of what this baseball manga is like. The only thing of note is that the tiny passive big eye boy is a catcher, and the assertive partner is a pitcher. And they are doing that shit on purpose.
Yes.
Because,
absolutely.
Yeah, well, because you know the terms uke and seme? They mean catcher,
Yes,
they mean catcher and
pet.
pet. And
Catcher are.
yeah. So just so you know. It's a gay thing. Well, not a gay thing. I want to be gay. We're not gonna argue about it. I'm not gonna argue. Yeah, it's a boys' love thing. But yeah, and then and I did drop Other Side Picnic and Jobless because I was playing Ketchup this week and didn't want to watch those two, so they're done.
Yeah. That's fair. Dropped Other Side Picnic too.
Yeah, and then come on.
I think I'm gonna end up dropping Wave. At least until the series is over and has a dub out.
Yeah.
Hello, Carol. Let's switch you out.
Oh, no. Kimono G and I was very angry with Kabane because he forgot his promise to Kon even though she is a very good girl. He promised that he would meet up with her after dinner and then he forgot, and the koi that he caught for them to share, that she caught for them to share rotted. Because she wanted to eat them with him, but he forgot about her for days.
Oh, that's bad.
Yes, Kabane was a bad boy. And then, okay, the last thing I want to talk about is, so there's a comic I read in, Pocket Comics. It's by the same author as Real Life. I don't know if either of you have ever seen that. Probably not. Called Blue Hearts. And, this, first big arc with one of the characters ended, and I didn't like the way it ended. Cause the character in question is Seto, and she's kind of like a gal. Do you know what a gal is?
Yeah, the tan with the...
Well, no, she's not tan, but yeah, the fashion conscious, ones.
Yeah.
And the whole thing with her is that she likes to date guys, and she dates a lot of different guys, and that's fine. I mean, it does play into stereotypes, but whatever. She's a kid. She can do whatever the fuck she wants. But one of her boyfriends got irritated and he started arranging for her to be gang raped.
What?
On a daily basis. Over and over. Which, as soon as that happened, I was like, excuse me? But I kept it going with it, and then it ended. And she said that it was her fault that they were gang raping her. And none of her so-called friends were like, no it wasn't. It was their fault. They're the ones who did it. So, let me just put it out there that it was not her fault that she was gang raped. Because she's not the one who gang raped herself. She's
I'm just gonna
16.
Oh
If she doesn't want to be in a serious monogamous relationship with somebody at 16, she doesn't have to be in a serious monogamous relationship with somebody at 16 because she's 16.
Mm-hmm.
And her friends suck for letting her blame herself. Also, apparently her mom is a prostitute, and I'm not so cool, and I don't like that either. There's just a whole lot of gross stuff in that arc that was just real bad. And
This show?
it's not a show,
Or
it's a
webcomic?
comic. It's a comic, yeah. Like, I'm probably not gonna... Yeah, it's called Blue Hearts. And this show is about the worst four students at a school being tutored by the best student at the school. It is a comedy where the first arc is about a girl being repeatedly gang raped and then blaming herself for it.
Hey,
and then
if you guys want to make a comedy, don't include rape.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter what kind of comedy you're making. If you include rape, it's not a comedy anymore.
No.
That kind of necessitates a change in tone and focus.
Yeah, like they didn't play it for laughs, but they didn't handle it very well. They was like, it's like, you know what, you this is not your lane. Please stay in your lane.
The SVU mistake, not the Peter Grill mistake.
Yeah, they weren't playing it for laughs, but it was not the sort of thing. They were trying to be serious about it, but they were bad about how they were serious about it.
Yeah. They were trying to handle the topic they had no idea how to handle properly.
Yeah, and they managed to handle it in probably one of the worst ways they could have handled it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Great. Love it when that happens. Love that.
Oh yeah. Anybody else have anything to talk about before we get on to the next?
I rewatched Bofuri this week.
Oh, that's one of the ones I ended up dropping. Because it was cute, but it wasn't cute enough to hold my attention.
Yeah, they have an English dub for it. And only one season, and I am heartbroken that there's only one fucking season.
I'm going to go into here
and... It's cute.
Yeah.
And it's fun.
Oh,
and I would absolutely be that fucking player.
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and just let this run on autopilot because I'm barely paying any attention. Yeah. But, yeah. So, what's next on the itinerary, host?
Next up on the itinerary...
Words?
Yes. So... Haley, worst song you've heard this week?
Ooh, the worst song I've heard this week?
Yes.
Oh, man. That would be the opening credits for Law & Order SVU. That opening song. Like, don't get me wrong, it's fine, but it's also a nothing song to go with their nothing show.
Yeah. Didn't SVU... I remember in SVU there was a guy, I don't know, the criminal in one of them was like saying, I have relationships with women, I have sex with men, and somebody's like, well, you're gay. It's like, no, he's bi. Or at most, he's a heteromantic homosexual that's not gay.
Yeah,
if he's romantically interested in women, then he's not gay.
Again, SVU's big mistake is when they try to handle something they clearly have no idea how to handle.
Yeah.
Like in the most recent episode I watched, from like mid-season 2, because I'm watching it on Hulu, they had an eyewitness to a rape who tried to kill the rapist, who was schizophrenic, and they tried to have this through line besides the speed audio, where they were trying to talk about how non-compliance and the right to refuse your medication. Except at the end of that episode, the schizophrenic witness killing himself because he had to take his medication. And they framed it as that being a result of the medication, and not as that being a result of the system that first essentially forced that medication on him, and then did not give him any of the proper support that should go along with medication.
Yeah.
And they do this a lot. Like, there was an episode halfway through season 1 that I will never forget. And Charlie and Carrie Ann have heard me talking about it a lot since I watched it, where a woman was being extorted for sexual favors by a judge to keep her, the man who tried to murder her, in prison. And because she killed the judge when he refused to keep the man who tried to murder her in prison, after having just extorted her for a recent blowjob, they decided that she should burn in hell, essentially, because she killed the judge who made a habit of sexually extorting women, vulnerable women, for sexual favors. It doesn't know what it wants to say.
I think it does. It just doesn't. It's just not very smart.
No, it's not. Now, admittedly, I'm only season 2. Maybe it gets better. I know it doesn't. I have seen later seasons. I watch the show all the time with our mother. But maybe it does get better.
Well, maybe it gets. Maybe it occasionally doesn't miss the mark.
I mean, it was.
It's a cop show.
It is. It's very much propaganda. But
Yeah.
it was at its best when it was actually trying to make the cops look like they had a life outside of their work.
Yeah.
Which they mostly focused on Stabler. But now, Stabler's having marital issues, presumably, because his family doesn't show up as much in season 2 as they showed up in season 1. And it's kind of exhausting.
Yeah.
They only bring up... Yeah, it's like, the show's bad, but it's even worse than bad when it tries to say anything. Which is a weird statement to make about a show that deals exclusively in sexual crime.
And it's like, Law and Order, you are for middle-aged dads. Please don't try to have a point.
Yeah, like, it's such a bad show.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was the worst song I've heard this week.
Ace, what's the best song you've heard this week?
Good question. I don't know. Trying to think. I'm still thinking. Please ask me a different question.
Okay.
I can't remember songs after they're not playing, or if there's other music's playing.
That's fair.
Yeah.
What is the best? What's the best snack you had this week?
Oh, jalapeno kettle chips. Did we do a general discussion about stuff? Or is that after best and worst of the week?
I think we kind of absorbed that into the fucking anime.
Yeah.
But if you want to talk about general discussion,
you know what? We had
general discussion.
Well, it's up to you. Did you come up with a topic?
Oh, I did, but then I wrote an article about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So what's a game that you played when you were a kid and you couldn't really get into it, but now that you're an adult, you really enjoy it?
I wasn't allowed to play video games when I was a kid because Mommy thought that video games made you evil.
Same.
Never stopped us.
I didn't play video games till I was in high school and was stealing money from her purse.
Okay, so when you were in high school, what was a game that you played and you didn't really like, and then revisited recently?
None. I don't have time to revisit games.
Fine. Let's see.
Yeah.
I don't think I have any games like that. I don't remember any games that I didn't like that I played when I was a kid.
I guess,
How about any piece of media?
something that I didn't, that aged better, that I didn't like at first and then kind of grew on me?
Yeah.
Mushrooms.
Mushroom.
When I was a kid, I hated mushrooms. And then one day when we were at the grandparents', I ate a salad that had mushrooms in it. And I was like, well, hot damn, these are pretty good. So there you go.
I don't think mushrooms are a piece of media.
Nope, but there's something that I liked better as an adult than I did as a kid.
Technicalities.
Let's see. It's not something I didn't like as a child, but oh god, I do appreciate Fallout franchise more than I did when I was younger.
Yeah.
Yeah, like sometimes you just need, like the most recent ones by Bethesda, sometimes you just need a game that you sit down and shoot a bunch of slavers Symphonia is a game like that for me. I didn't revisit it recently. I revisited it a few years ago, but we used to have it for the GameCube when I was like 12 or 13, and I never finished it because it annoyed me. And
We
then I
had a
grew up.
GameCube?
Yeah, we still have it somewhere. We just don't have power cords.
Oh.
Yeah, we had that at our house in. I think we had it at the house in Cousin, but we definitely had it at the house on Peacock. Because we used that was where I played Delta Symphony for the first time. Which I remember specifically because I remember freaking out one day because I got pool water on it after I went swimming.
Huh.
I wanted to play Pokemon Coliseum.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
But you're the one who brought up this topic. What's something that you didn't like when you were a kid that you like now? Charlie.
Well, most foods,
Yeah.
but fucking. Let me think. Because there were so many things that I didn't like as a kid that I fucking. Onions on burgers. It just.
Yeah. Onions are good when you don't have the actual texture of them in your mouth.
Yeah.
No.
But media-wise.
Yeah, media. Yeah, the media is a good question. Let's see. Can't even think of anything I didn't like when I was a kid. I liked everything when I was a kid. I had no taste.
Oh, I know something that grew on me that I actually didn't like as a kid that I like now, and that's piracy.
Oh yes, piracy is good.
I'm a huge fan of just downloading things for free off the internet.
Oh yeah. Crime
Especially
in general, really.
abandonware.
No, I've always been fun. I've always been a general fan of thievery.
And I grew up and I understood it better, and I thought, you know what? No, this is actually kind of lit. Let's keep doing it forever. It's a lesson for you, EA. Keep making Sims unavailable, and people are just gonna learn that stealing is great. And
No, EA is a garbage company that doesn't deserve your money anyway.
It's true.
But
most things are like
don't spend your money on EA. Don't give EA your money. Don't give Natsume your money. Yeah. Don't give J.K. Rowling your money. Don't give Warner Brothers your money. Don't give Zack Snyder your money. Give your money to me.
Please tell me.
Support us on Patreon.
Patreon.com/m/Ace Anime Reviews or Ace Reviews?
Ace Anime Reviews.
Yep. Capital A, capital A, capital R.
Yep.
That's not Patreon that I just pulled up to double check. That's the actual site. Yes, that's it. Yes, I got that right. Okay. Go away, Firefox. I don't want to look at my orientation anymore. I don't want to go to college. I've changed my mind.
Yeah.
Keep saying things. I'm supposed to be watching videos and listening to people talk, and it's just so stressful.
Yeah.
It's not. They asked me for my preferred name, and then their fucking automated system doesn't even have a bit of code that tells them to use the preferred name instead of the other name.
Oh, you want to hear a fun story about that? I was took geology. Well, I signed up for a geology course, and then I was talking to my professor because I was having trouble with the books, and I asked her to please call me Ace, and she responded by aggressively by not only because she called me by my dead name. I asked her please call me Ace. And she responded by calling me Miss, my last name. So I was like, you know what? Fuck you! And I dropped the class. Yeah.
And it's not like I'm not used. I mean, I guess I'm not. It's been a couple years since I had to care about the outside world using any of my names. But
yeah, like when I first started my job, people kept referring to me by my dead name, and I kept telling people do not call me that, and they would keep doing it just to Because they thought it was funny. They thought I was kidding because I don't
Punch
get
'em.
mad when I am annoyed. I do frame it as a joke, but fortunately they eventually it just kind of petered out. They just stopped, and I didn't even have to start threatening to go to HR about it. But yeah.
I don't get it. Like, how hard is it to just do as we ask?
That's
I'm
'cause
sorry, none of my legal documents have my actual name on them. It'll cost me $740 to get it changed legally.
yeah, like people ask us, they're always like, well, your name is a gift from your parents. It's like, well, anything else is given to me as a gift, I'm allowed to throw away. Why is my name supposed to be any different?
My parents stopped getting me gifts other than clothes because I just re-gifted them.
Yeah. Also, I don't like my parents. My parents suck. I mean, my dad is fine in small doses, but
Is he?
well, I mean, in small doses.
Very small doses.
He wasn't even in the house for 5 minutes before we almost got into an argument about how COVID is or is not a hoax.
Oh yeah.
It's not a hoax.
No,
For
it's not.
the record, wear your fucking mask.
Yeah,
and stay 6 feet away.
He was bringing up stuff about it being engineered or not. It's like, who said anything about being engineered or not?
It doesn't matter. Why does it matter if it's engineered or not?
Well, of
People
course,
are still dying from it.
I
We still
mean-
don't have a vaccine that's widely available.
I mean, I live in a super red neighborhood, so I hear that shit all the time, and I pretty much just smile and nod. It's like, yeah, okay, whatever, dude. Yeah, you say you, and I'll just ignore you. But
Man, I try to give Dad the benefit of the doubt, but it's real hard when even his parents will at least use one of my actual names, and he still insists on dead naming me and misgender.
yeah. Plus,
Like, I've come out to him.
yeah, and him
he
and the COVID thing is especially hilarious because he lived in South Korea till recently, and that was one of the only countries that handled it properly.
It's because it's one of the only countries that handles it
Yeah.
properly.
But yeah.
Anyway, the big takeaway from this is that parents suck.
Yeah.
Wear your fucking masks and
Yeah.
stay 6 feet away from everyone.
Yeah, Republicanism is a death cult.
Yep. So, if you live in America and our government doesn't have the vaccine widely available in, say, a year, you are morally obligated to burn the entire system to the ground and start over.
Okay, how about let's promote the next article?
Yeah,
Alright.
next article is gonna
Good
be
thing
about that Dio ass motherfucker.
Fuck
Yeah.
It's gonna be I'm thinking my working title is Inosuke or Adam or something in between. It's like because which of them is a character and which of them is who he actually is, and is it a little bit of both? Is basically the bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything you want to recommend this week?
I would like to recommend Akudama Drive. It is better than Jujutsu Kaisen and should have won Anime of the Year.
I haven't seen either of them.
Oh, you should watch Akudama Drive. It has a
Sounds good,
dub.
though.
Well, so does Jujutsu Kaisen, but Akudama Drive is shorter and better.
I still have to finish rewatching Angel Beats. I got distracted by having to edit and then ultimately not editing my Peter Krell review.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you have to write something next week.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna do a comparative analysis, a compare and contrast between the first Mass Effect trilogy's theme song and the Mass Effect Andromeda's theme song.
Oh, have fun with that.
A layman's musical analysis of Mass Effect. Because Mass Effect Andromeda is the better of the two. Mass Effect Andromeda is the best Mass Effect game, and its theme song is a pretty good summary of why. And so I'm gonna do a little analysis in defense of my favorite Mass Effect game.
Well, have fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. We're gonna actually have to tag this Mass Effect, and I guarantee you, it's either gonna be completely ignored or we're gonna get a shitload of dude bros in the Ace Anime Tumblr inbox explaining how we're wrong and I should kill myself because of it.
Oh nah. Well, because first of all, since the only thing we put on there is links to the site, they'll just put comments on the actual article itself, and then I won't approve any of them if they're asking you to kill yourself. So, because I do moderate all
It's-
comments before they go through.
That's nice.
Yeah.
To be fair, it has been long enough. Maybe no one cares anymore. But I was listening to the Mass Effect Andromeda theme recently, and I started to get all teary-eyed over it. So that's what I'm gonna do for my next article.
Alright.
Nice.
Because you know what? Angel Beats is good in parts, and there's a very important essay that I can pull out of it about trauma and grief and all that shit. But it's also very heavy, and you know what? I just want to cry over video games.
That's fair. Anything you want to recommend?
I want to recommend, other than The Untamed.
Yeah, other than The
Yes,
Untamed.
other than The
You've
Untamed.
hit your lifetime maximum on recommending The Untamed.
Oh,
Now you don't get to
But
recommend it until it gets another season. Or another adaptation.
it's never gonna get another season. I think Dongba. Oh god, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna use Dongba. The animated series is probably gonna get another season at some point this year. Let's see, what would I recommend other than The Untamed? I would recommend that you download and play all of the Rune Factory games that are easily available. So that's the first 3 Rune Factory games. Rune Factory 4 isn't easily available on the internet yet. Play Rune Factory. It's a good game.
They broke the farming in Boom Factory 3 though. They didn't need to do that. I don't like what they changed it. It was perfect up until then.
Was it?
They tried to fix what wasn't broken. Yeah, it didn't need to be any more complicated than it was. And then they tried to do something and now you can't even make Rune Factories anymore. Also, I've never liked that 1 seed per bag thing, especially when each individual seed is 5,000 gold. Like the only games where one seed per bag works are Animal Parade and Innocent Life, and that's only because each of the seeds is like 10 gold. But
Rune Factory 4 too, and plus each seed gives you multiple yields of crops.
No, not necessarily.
They do fix it for Rune Factory 4.
A little bit, but it was still better
it's,
before.
Out of season, unless it's out of season and also the opposite of the bumper crop in the harvest report, it'll give you at least 2 per seed.
Yeah, but it's still bad. I still liked it better before. Because before you got 9 crops out of 1 bag of seed. And 9, you may be surprised to learn, is more than 2.
Sure. I mean, it's still balances out cost-wise.
I don't know.
It's just that Rune Factory 4 has been redesigned so that it feels a lot better to farm than Rune Factories 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah. But
maybe I'll play those games at some point in the future. I should. I like them.
Yeah, I have strong feelings about farming games. It's Harvest Moon is, I guess it's not Harvest Moon. Bokujo Monogatari is my favorite video game series, so.
I believe the Japanese title translates like something like Ranch Story.
Yeah, it's Ranch Story, but that game had already been taken, which is why Natsume called it Harvest Moon.
Alright, so just use the current.
This is why I call it Bokujo. Well, yeah, but when I'm referring to Harvest Moon as well, like the old ones before it got changed, that's why I refer to it as Bokumono.
I still refer to those as Story of Seasons.
Yeah, but yeah, I just call them Bokumono. Just makes it easier.
Yeah. But you can get all of those older Harvest Moon games on that site I redirected you to, and find emulators for them too.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna do that. I've been wanting to play through like the first year of each of them, and also Natsume does not get my money, so emulation is fine.
You can't buy any of the older ones through them anyway.
Sure you can.
They're essentially abandonware.
No, I think you can.
They
Like,
are
you can get you can get them like in some places. What am I looking for?
You can get them on eBay and sites like that, but you can't get them through the developer anymore.
No. Well, the developer sucks, so. Well, Natsume is not the developer. They are the localizer, but which is one of the things that I'm going to get into next month.
You can't get them through the developer in Japan either, because they're for systems that have been long since abandoned.
No, they have
You can only get them online. They're not getting money off of them regardless.
They have a few of them on on Virtual Console.
Sounds great.
But yeah.
I mean, it doesn't sound fake, but it also doesn't sound worth it.
Anyway, Charlie, what do you want to recommend?
Hades. The soundtrack specifically, it's awesome.
Yeah, I was listening to that. It's good. Why can't I?
There's.
There is one other thing. I'm gonna wait until we get to plugging people's shit for that actually.
Yeah. There's one song that I really like. It's the when Eurydice sings when you reach her.
I don't feel like playing anymore. I'm just gonna turn the game off and we can look at my background while we talk.
Yeah, it's.
I'm tired. I don't want to play a game anymore.
Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're all good songs, and you should listen to the soundtrack.
Yeah, look at my OBS bars going into eternity.
Ben's not here. I'm gonna plug her Twitch. She just recently started streaming like yesterday. Twitch.tv/DruidQuest. I don't know what her schedule's gonna be. Probably Monday and Tuesday, since the moment she sees my setup, and those are the days she has off. So Twitch.tv/DruidQuest. Keep an eye on it. See what she's up to next.
Yep.
My Twitch. Twitch.tv/Arctic Noah. Yes, I changed my name because I wanted people to stop calling me Arctic. Twitch.tv/Arctic Noah. I stream Wednesdays and Sundays, starting usually at 10 o'clock. I got a late start today because I had to do some paperwork. Saturday afternoons, I'm going to starting next week to stream for a bit at night. Thursday and Friday. I mean, I do stream on Thursday, Friday night. You know what I mean. Stream a couple more days a week after Carrie gets off work.
Okay.
Oh, go for it. Okay. Continue.
And,
I've also got my YouTube channel up. I'm uploading deleted VODs from my Twitch archive up there. That's at Noah Haley.
Okay.
I've got a link to it in my Twitch social links. Okay, go ahead, Ace.
Okay, yeah, I'm here on this Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Ryota, RHLOTR. This is the only stream that I have scheduled. I did have others scheduled, but now it's just more like this is the scheduled one, and then on weekday, meaning Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday nights where I just have time and energy, then I'll stream for a bit. And then I have Tumblr, which is also Ryota.
Charlie, that song is called Good Riddance.
Yes, thank you. That one. Listen to that one. That one's my favorite. Especially the Eurydice only version.
And the sleeping cat is my cat from Final Fantasy XIV. And speaking of Final Fantasy XIV, my YouTube. I have MMO Let's Plays that I do. Late Night Load Show is no longer streamed, but I still record an hour a week with Noah, and then I put that on my YouTube at Ace Barrett King. And then I have a Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV with Charlie. That is basically our characters from Locho transplanted into Eorzea. And I also started one with Finn, which will be up on Friday, probably, maybe? I don't know. We'll find out. If you're watching this on YouTube, the recording of this on YouTube, then it's probably already up and you know what it is, but I'm not going to spoil it. I'm just going to tell you that it is a baby game for babies. And I didn't want to play it. I wanted to play Dragon Quest X, but she insisted. So
play Dragon Quest X. I thought that was
you can play it on Switch for free. You just have to make yourself a Nintendo account and set your region to Japan, and then you can find it on the Nintendo eShop. Just put in the number X, and it'll be the letter X, and it'll be the first thing that pops up. You can play a free trial. It is in Japanese, but Google Translate has this handy function where if you take the picture of the text, it'll translate it for you. So there you go. So there's a bonus plug. Play Dragon Quest X on Switch for free. You can also play it on PC because it is no longer region locked, but it is still not translated, and they need to release that game in English already. God damn it! All right, Charlie, you're last.
Okay. So Twitch, I'm on EC Pulsing, definitely streaming Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. Any other days up in the air. I'm also on Tumblr at Magic Like a Charlie, where I just, blog, whatever. And there's also Tumblr at EC Writing Prompts, where you can look at my half-ass writing prompts and maybe get inspired.
Maybe.
Okay. I believe you've already done your upcoming streaming schedule.
I have.
So that's all from us.
Yep, I guess that's all. Hold up, I'm going to show a picture real quick.
For the record, if you have to change the region on your Switch to Japan, the game is still technically region locked.
Oh, only on the Switch. It's not region locked on PC. So you don't need a VPN to play it anymore.
Is it free on the PC?
There's a free trial, yes. After that, you have to buy Krista through Square Enix to keep paying for it, or get a credit card a Japanese credit card, which I don't know how you would even do that. So you just have to buy Krista to pay your subscription.
Okay, I'm just gonna stick with the Switch version then.
Yeah. I mean, you're gonna have to.
Okay, sorry. I know. Take picture, put it in Google Translate.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Fine, I'm adaptable.
Yeah, so we can close on this wonderful image of Mancody with this haircut and this coat, which I have decided to dub fuckboy chic. Have a good day. Bye.